right.
Are we using your tablets again for class?
Nope. Put your tablets completely away. Alright, so we're going to pick up the story, and we're going to see Isaac. He's going to have some kids with Rebecca, so we're going to talk about that. Let's start the story. I'm going to read it for you right here. Alright, so read along with me up here on the board. Okay, this is the account of Abraham's son, Isaac. Abraham became the father of Isaac. Isaac was 40 years old when he married Rebecca's daughter. So remember, Rebecca was the one Eliezer went and found for Isaac. Now look at this. Okay, look at this verse right here. Isaac prayed to the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was childless. Are you kidding me? Why am I frustrated about this? Why am I annoyed by this?
Sarai was barren too.
Yeah, it's like this just happened to Abraham and Sarai, and it took them so long to have Isaac, and now all of a sudden Isaac and Rachel, they're having trouble with kids. And even, look at this. Oh, actually, let me ask you this. How old was Abraham when he had Isaac? Who remembers? Elizabeth.
100.
Okay, I will give a bravo to who can remember how old Abraham was when he was called. So how long he had to wait for Isaac. Maddie.
89?
Nope, incorrect.
80?
Nope. Two more people. Jay.
76.
Incorrect.
75.
Correct. I'll give you a bravo after class. Remind me. Yeah. So Abraham was 75 when he was.
Jay was way.
All right. He was 75 when he was called. 100 when he actually had Isaac. So how long did he have to wait for that promise to come true? 25 years. And look down here. So Isaac, he's having to wait a really long time because look at this. Isaac was 60 years old when Rebecca gave birth to them. So how long did Isaac have to wait?
20 years.
I'm sorry?
20 years.
He had to wait 20 years, and Isaac had to wait 25 years.
Age goes by fast in like these past two chapters. Like suddenly he's already like 60 years old and 40.
Yeah, I know. This, especially these little verses, like 20 years blows by. All right, so he prays for Rebecca. He's like, Lord, I want Rebecca to have a child. The Lord answers his prayer. Rebecca became pregnant. The babies, meaning she has twins, jostled with each other within her. And she said, all right, she said, why is this happening to me? So she's in pain. Now, before you see why she's in pain for two reasons. The first reason you already know, because we've talked about this before in Genesis. Why is it she experiencing pain? Gabby.
Well, probably because it says that you were jostling. You know, so
Okay, but we've talked about this before, Ansley.
Okay, Adam and Eve. So when they like sinned and ate the apple and then left the garden, one of the punishments was that all women would have like a hard time giving birth. And,
Yep.
like, it would be very painful.
Perfect. 2 claps for Ansley. Yeah, so God said because you've sinned, you now are going to be affected by the fall, and that's one of them. That just childbearing is going to be painful. The second reason is these two twins are like fighting in the womb. And the Lord says that there are 2 nations within you. This is our memory verse. 2 people within you will be separated. One people will be stronger than the other. The older will serve the younger. And look at this. This is crazy. When the time came for her to give birth, there were twin boys. The first one that came out was red, and his whole body was like a hairy garment. And I said to the other class, it kind of reminds me of Elmo, but it wasn't. So his name was Esau. After this, his brother came out with his hand grasping Esau's heel. So they were like fighting in the womb almost, and they come out, and Jacob is grabbing onto Esau's heel. Question.
This is a comment, but
Yeah.
in some other versions of the Bible, Jacob was actually going to be the first to come out, but Esau pulled him back and then climbed out.
Oh, very interesting. You gotta tell me about that later. All right, quick question. Keep your hand, raise your hand if you have a sibling. Okay? Keep your hand in the air if that sibling is of the same gender as you.
1, 2.
Okay? Or either of them. All right. keep your hand in the air if they are like the exact opposite of you in every single way. Like every single way, they're the exact opposite. Any your sibling that's of the same gender. All right, Brenna, tell me how your sibling is different from you.
Well, she doesn't look super different than me, but like I don't know. She doesn't really. She's not a huge musical theater person. She likes to, but she like prefers track, and I do not run. And she's yeah.
Okay, one more. Let's do you, William.
My sisters are really optimistic and it's really annoying.
Okay, and so you're just a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, so I have an older sister. I should have shown you a picture of her, but we are opposite in every single way. All right, guys, you can talk about this after class. We're opposite in every single way. Like, she has brown hair, she's short, I'm blonde hair, I'm tall. But not only that, like, she's really shy and I'm really loud. And she, like, loves computers. Like, she programs, like, websites. And I barely know how to just, like, turn this thing on. So we are opposite every single way. Let's see how these twins, they are, like, complete opposites. Look at this. The boys grew up. Esau became a skillful hunter, a man of the open country. So he's like REI, burly dude. He loves the outdoors. Let's look at Jacob. Jacob was just content to stay at home. He doesn't like going outside, you know. He doesn't like bugs. He's just more, stays at home. He's more artistic. So, because of how the characteristics of who they are, the parents choose favorites. It says Isaac loved Esau because Isaac liked that Esau was a hunter. But Rebecca loved Jacob because maybe he was one that stayed at home. And we're going to talk about what sort of destruction that can do when parents have favorites. Now, all of a sudden, the story, exactly Jay, it like all of a sudden kind of goes 20 years into the future, and it tells us about how this prophecy of Esau, the older, begins to serve Jacob, who is the younger one. How does that flip-flop, and what happens? So, we talk about, when we're talking about this story, we're introducing a vocab word, which is instant gratification. Say it after me. Instant gratification. But before I just give you, the worksheet and just tell you the definition, let's try to think, like, what could that vocab mean? So let's start with instant. And actually, I've got some pictures for you when I think of instant. All right, because we live in a culture, right, where, like, we don't have just gram, we have Instagram, right? And we don't have just, like, restaurants, but we have fast food restaurants. We're like, I want to get this as quickly as possible. And if walking in, like taking a step out of your car and going into the restaurant is too much work, don't worry about it. Just stay in your car and we will hand you the food for you. Or I don't know about you, like I pace in front of my microwave. I'm like, 30 more seconds. Like, come on, let's go. Or, I don't know if y'all have seen this, but I know Starbucks and Chipotle have that. But Chick-fil-A. It's an app where you can, like maybe waiting in line or waiting in the drive-thru just takes too much time. So what you can do is you can place your order, purchase it with your phone before we even get there. So all you have to do is walk in there and get it.
It's just so helpful.
And if that isn't quick enough, we also have instant coffee. So we live in a society where fast is good, where if I can get something that I want as quickly as possible, that's a good thing. So instant gratification is getting what I want as quickly as possible, okay? Getting what I want as quickly as possible. Who remembers this video? This is another example that Maddie played for us in chapel. Remember this? What was the what did the lady? What were the options the lady gave the kids? Gabby.
They could either eat that one or they could wait and get two.
Awesome. Yeah. So the lady said, "Okay, I'm gonna give you this marshmallow. When I come back in the room, if you haven't eaten your marshmallow, I will give you 2. So the kids were like faced with an option. Either I'll eat it right now and not get a second one, or I can wait and just stare at it like this girl and get 2 if I don't touch it. So instant gratification is when we're faced with a decision of choosing the now, like what I want right now, over the later. So our future is affected by the decisions we make in the present. Now, why is it hard for them to wait for the later? Like, what are some reasons why it's hard? Claire?
Because they really want to have it now. They find it like good to have.
Yeah. One more, Sophia.
They just might be hungry, or it just looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just right in front of them. And sometimes when we think about the future, it's hard to actually see. So it's like, oh, but this is right here, and I know I want this, so why not just have it right now? All right, let's see what happens to Jacob and Esau. So look at this story with me. It says here, once Jacob was cooking some stew, because that's what Jacob did. He just did stuff like that. And Esau comes in from the open country. He just came from the wilderness. He was probably hunting, and he is famished. So he says to Jacob, quick, let me have some of that red stew. I am famished. And Jacob replied, first, sell me your birthright. Who can guess what a birthright is? What do you think, Andrew?
It's the firstborn son and or it's all of the property of their parents.
Okay.
It's passed down to them.
Oh, yeah.
So a birthright, when you are the firstborn, back then, because his father was a patriarch, he would receive the first portion of the family. And they would also receive a double portion. So, so Isaac has an inheritance to give both Esau and Jacob, but because Esau is the firstborn, he's going to receive double of what Jacob receives because he's the firstborn. So what Jacob is saying is, hey, I want what you are going to get when Dad dies because that's more than what I get. Now, when is this going to happen, though? Getting the birthright. Raise your hand, raise your hand. When is this going to happen, Jay?
When Isaac dies?
Okay, and is that going to be like next week?
No.
Or maybe today? No, like it's probably going to take place like 100 years from then. Because Isaac's only like 70 at this point, or 75 at this point. So this is going to take a while for this to come true. So let's see what Esau says. He says, look, I'm about to die. What good is this birthright to me? If he's about to die, you know, he's like, I'm not even going to get that. I'll probably die before death. Do you think he's actually about to die?
No.
Why? Raise your hand if you think why. What do you think, Claire?
He's just trying to say that, so like, come on, just give it to me. Like, it's not really gonna make that big of a difference, but in the long run,
Yeah, he's just being so dramatic. He's so desperate to just satisfy his appetite that he's just like, oh, just give it to me. I'm going to die. I mean, he walked in there. He's probably okay. So Jacob says, swear to me first. So he swore an oath to him. He sold his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob, look at this. This is so funny. Gave Esau some bread and some lentil stew. He ate, he drank, got up, and he left. So Esau despised his birthright. Thumb up if you think this was like a pretty good deal. Like, they're kind of even, like birthright, bread and lentil stew. Thumbs up if you think that was good.
You like
Good job!
Bad. Alright, we'll finish talking about this. Don't forget about your homework this weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.